Hello, welcome back to Google class. How are you, viewers? How are you, student? Today we are going to discuss with important topic is doctrine of election, section 35 of the Transfer of Property Act. Okay, this is very most important portion of Transfer of Property Act. Okay, so here the doctrine of election. What is the meaning of doctrine of election and how it is scoped? Okay, the doctrine of election is explained in section 35 of the TP Act 1882. This doctrine is exception to the rule of nemo dat quod non habet. Nemo, N-E-M-O, nemo dat, D-A-T, dat, quod, Q-U-O-D, quod, non, N-O-N, non, habet, H-A-B-E-T, habet. Okay, this meaning is no one can transfer better title than he is. Only one person, he only give better title and any other person give better title. Why? Because for example, one property is my own. I am a right person to give good title to other person. The opposite person don't know how he will give to the good title to my property. This is common nature. Okay, so and another meaning, we'll see the illustration, then it is easy to understand what is doctrine of election. Okay, so here A is a person has 1 acre land worth rupees 1 lakh in Krishna district. Okay, here A's father B wanted to give that land to his daughter C. C is a daughter. As a mode of transfer is gift deed. Okay, here B proposes that B is a father. B proposes that B would give rupees 1,50,000 to A. If A consents to give the land to his sister C, if he is giving consent to C, okay, A is sister, then it is A to elect whether to retain the property or to receive the gift of rupees 1,50,000 and to transfer the land to C. C is here his daughter and A's sister. However, there should not be any compulsion here. No compulsion, no threat, no coercion, no undue influence against A by B. Okay, clear? We already discussed in contract subject coercion. What is coercion? What is threat? As per the Contract Act, we already studied. Okay, I don't want to explain this coercion and undue influence and all. Okay, if A elects the gift of rupees 1,50,000, he is to benefit rupees 50,000 rupees extra. That's all. Why? Because that land value is 1 lakh, but he is receiving gift of money 1,50,000. You can deduct 1 lakh minus 1,50,000 equal to 50,000 is extra money. So, and C with 1 acre land only. So This is called the doctrine of election. Okay, now you clear? This is the meaning. Okay, this is the definition, easy definition. We'll go to section 35. As per the Transfer of Property Act is election when necessary. The under topic is section 35. Bare Act is election when necessary. So when necessary, where a person proposes to transfer property which he has no right to transfer, and as part of the same transaction confers any benefit on the owner of the property, such owner must elect either to confirm such transfer or to dissent from it. Okay, and in the later case he shall relinquish the benefit so conferred. Relinquish, RELINQUISH. Okay, and the benefit so relinquished shall revert to the transferor or his representative as if it had not been disposed of. Okay, subject nevertheless, where the transfer is gracious and the transferor as before the election died or otherwise become incapable of making a fresh transfer, and in all cases where the transfer is for consideration. Okay, you know very well consideration. In the change of making good to the disappointed transferee the amount or value of the property attempted to be transferred to him. Okay, this is what saying section 35. We'll go to some 2 or 3 illustrations. It is easy for our reference for the doctrine of election. Okay, so one farm, Sultanpur. The farm of Sultanpur is the property of C, and this property worth of rupees 800. Okay, please note down. One property is there in Sultanpur. Property is value only 800 rupees. Okay, by an instrument of gift professes to transfer it to B, giving by the same instrument as 1000 rupees to C. C elects to retain the farm. Then automatically what will happen? He forfeits the gift or rupees 1000. Okay, this only happening. Okay, another illustration in the same case. A dies before the election. His representative must, out of the rupees 1000, pay rupees 800 to B. Okay, this rule in the first paragraph of this section 35 applies whether the transferor does or does not believe that which he professes to transfer to be his own. A person taking no benefit directly under a transaction but deriving a benefit under it indirectly need not elect. A person who in his own capacity takes a benefit under the transaction may in another dissent therefrom. Okay, this is what illustration was given clearly. Okay, the same rule we have to see exception to the last proceeding 4 rules. Last proceedings 4 rule is available in the section 35. Number first rule, where a particular benefit is expressing, okay, to be conferred on the owner of the property, which the transferor professes to transfer. Who is the transferor? Giver. Okay, and such benefit is expressed to be in lieu of that property. If such owner claims the property, he must relinquish the particular benefit, but he is not bound to relinquish any other benefit conferred upon him by the same transaction. Okay, this is rule first, exception category. And second rule, here, acceptance of the benefit by the person on whom it is conferred constitutes an election by him to confirm the transfer if he is aware of his duty to elect and of those circumstances which would influence the judgment of the reasonable man in making an election, or if he waives enquiry into the circumstances. And another third rule is clearly indicated. Such knowledge, note down, knowledge or waiver means denying, shall, in the absence of evidence to the contrary, be presumed if the person on whom the benefit has been conferred has enjoyed it for 2 years without doing any act to express dissent. And last, fourth rule, such knowledge of waiver may be inferred from any act of his which renders it impossible to place the person interested in the property professed to be transferred in the same condition as if such act had not been done. Okay, these are all exemption rule of the section 35. We'll go to some illustrations here. Only one illustration. Okay, here A transfers to B. A is a person. He transfers to B an estate to which C is entitled, and as part of the same transaction gives C a coal mine, coal, C-O-A-L, coal mine. Okay, C takes possession of the mine and exhausts it. He has thereby confirmed the transfer of the estate to B. If he does not, within 1 year after the date of the transfer, simply to the transferor or his representatives his intention to confirm or to dissent from the transfer, the transferor or his representatives may, upon the expiration of that period, require him to make his election, and if he does not comply with such requisition within a reasonable time after he has received it, he shall be deemed to have elected to confirm the transfer. In case of disability, the election shall be postponed until the disability ceases or until the election is made by some competent authority. Okay, this is for illustration of section 35 of. Okay, and another important points we must discuss here in this classroom. So this is a very useful section and very important topic also, TP Act. And another example we'll discuss here. Here Raju, one person, and Lakshmi Badi and Sri Lakshmi is the person is playing this role. Here Raju and Lakshmi Badi and Sri Lakshmi. Three person is major role in this part. So here Raju has property X, okay, worth rupees 2 lakhs, and Lakshmi Badi has a property Y. Raju property X, Lakshmi Badi property Y. So here Lakshmi Badi property Y worth rupees 80,000 only. Okay. Raju makes a will leaving his property to Lakshmipati with a condition that Lakshmipati is to give his property to Sri Lakshmi. Okay. In this case, 3 possibilities are open to Lakshmipati. What are the 3 possibilities? We'll discuss. Number 1, he may refuse the legacy under the will, in which case he derives no benefit whatever from the gift and keeps his property Y. Number 2, he may accept the legacy under the will, in which case he has to transfer his property Y to Sri Lakshmi by accepting the will. Lakshmi Badi is benefited rupees 1,20,000. Okay, because Lakshmi Badi property is worth us 80,000 only. Okay, so here Lakshmi Badi benefited according to this condition 1,20,000. Okay, and Sri Lakshmi rupees 80,000 only. Okay, so third point and third possibilities is he may act against the will, that is he accepts the will and takes the property X and also retains his own property Y, but gives the value of the property of Y, that is 80,000, to Sri Lakshmi as compensation. Fine. It resembles both the qualities of the doctrine of election and the doctrine of Cebrus. Cebrus means CYC plus PRES. We already discussed earlier class. Okay. In this election, Lakshmi Badi is benefited rupees 1,20,000 and Sri Lakshmi rupees 80,000. That's all. So in the third possibility, we discussed third rule. There is another possibility of election from the side of Sri Lakshmi. It is Sri Lakshmi to give her consent for obtaining money instead of property Y. If she selects to have the property Y and refuse money also, and at the same time Lakshmi Badi wants to retain the property Y, then the wills fails. That's all. Okay, now it's clear, I think so. Okay, the same section 35 will see the conditions. What are the conditions given? Section 35, some conditions is given. Okay, we'll see the conditions. The doctrine of election is an exception to the doctrine of nemo dat quod non habet. We already studied. No one can transfer a better title than he has. Okay, that is meaning the transferor disposes of the property on which he has no right to transfer in certain occasion arise in the rule of election. Okay, and second condition, the transferor provides some benefit to the real of the property and generally that benefit values more than the value of the property in question. Okay. Number 3, the dispose of property and the conferment of a benefit on its owners should be parts of the same transaction. Is right? Fourth point, the real owner is put to election whether to retain his property or to forego it by accepting the benefit. Okay. Number 5, one cannot probate and reprobate at the same time. The real owner of the property is required to accept the transfer completely or reject it completely. He cannot partly accept and partly reject. Okay, this principle is also applicable the transfer of property in onerous gift and universal doni. Okay, we'll see the next classes also. Okay, it's available. And sixth point, the doctrine of election is based on the natural principle of justice. Can you understand? Natural principle of justice. What is the meaning? Natural principle of justice. We already studied constitutional law also. Okay. That a person cannot accept and also reject a single transaction at the same time. When the real owner accepts the benefit, he should accept the burden of it. Okay. So these are all included in the section 35. And Cooper versus Cooper also a English case, and method and time of election also available. And another one thing, the Indian Succession Act 1925 section 187, 188, 189, 190 also same only, because there are certain section explaining the doctrine of election in case of transfer of properties pertaining to the wills. Okay. So the Indian Succession Act explained 187 is when acceptance of benefit given by will constitutes election to take under will. Section 188, circumstance in which knowledge or waiver is presumed or inferred. Section 189, when testators representatives may call upon legatee to elect. Section 190, postponement of election in case of disability. Okay, so these are all resembling doctrine of election TP Act also. Okay, in 187 one illustration we'll see here, section 187 of the Indian Succession Act, because doctrine of election of TP Act and 187 also resembling. Okay, here one illustration. A is owner of an estate called Sultanpur Kurd and has a life interest in another estate called Sultanpur Buzruk, to which upon his death his son B will be absolutely entitled. Is clear now? The will of A gives the estate of Sultanpur Kurd to B and the estate of Sultanpur Buzarg to C. B, in ignorance of his own right to the estate of Sultanpur Buzruk, allows C to take possession of it and enters into possession of the estate of Sultanpur Gurd. B has not confined the bequest of estate of Sultanpur Buzur to C. Okay, this was saying section 187. Section 188 of Indian Succession Act circumstance in which knowledge or waiver is presumed or inferred. Okay, illustration is here: A bequeaths to B an estate, okay, to which C is entitled, and to C a coal mine. C takes possession of the mine and exhausts it. He has thereby confined the bequest of the estate to B. Okay. So 187, 188 is clearly explained illustration also. And we'll go to the main doctrine of election, another part, the same thing with the doctrine of election, the main definition, another mode of a definition. Those who are not understand clearly above mentioned illustration and meaning, that's all. I will give you extraordinary notes also, then only you can understand easily. Basically, this doctrine of election is very easy but very important. Okay, this doctrine says the doctrine of elections may be stated thus: he who accepts a benefit under a deed or will or other instrument must adopt the whole contents of the instrument. Whole contents. What the statement was written in this document. Okay, must confine to all its provisions and renounce all rights that are inconsistent with it. This principle is often put in another form, that a person cannot probate, okay, and reprobate the same transaction, or blow hot and cold at the same time. Okay, election is defined as choosing between two rights when there is a clear intention, express or implied, that both are not to be enjoyed. The foundation of the doctrine is the intention of the transferor, and its characteristic is the effectuation of their transfer of property not belonging to him. The doctrine is that a donee shall not be allowed to ab probate and reprobate, and that if he ab probates, he shall do all in his favor to confirm the instrument which he ab probates. Okay. And the foundation of the doctrine of election is that the person taking a benefit under an instrument must also bear the burden. In other words, he cannot take under and against one and the same instrument. The doctrine of election is that the exercise of the choice by a person left to himself of his own free will to do one thing or another binds him to the choice which he has voluntarily made, and is founded on the equitable doctrine that he who accepts benefit under an instrument or transaction of his choice must adapt the whole of it and renounce everything inconsistent with it. Okay, the court expressing jurisdiction also in equity will bind him to his election and preclude him from going behind the same. The fact that the alienation as such is void is no bar to the applicability of the doctrine of election, which is rested on equitable principle. Okay, the principle is in effect a branch of general rule that no one may approbate approbate, okay, probate சொல்லுவாங்க, approbate and reprobate as stated by the Privy Council, a leading cases in Rangamma versus Achamma, one leading cases. The court was explained. Okay, so a petition, that case party shall not at the same time affirm and disaffirm the same transaction. So as far as it is for is benefit and disaffirm, as far as it is has to is prejudice only. Okay, this is what court say explained. The above Ranganathamma versus Achamma case was explained thoroughly. Okay, that's all. We'll see another topic and next video or Google Classroom or any other videos. Okay, wish you all the best, all of my students and all of my viewers. Take this opportunity and think about what is the doctrine of election, how we can use, what are the important in this area, how can we solve the in election means doctrine of election, if any one of the property transfer. So you must thorough each line by line. Okay, I think this video is useful for you. Send me feedback. Okay, then only I can give more elaborate and a clear version video to you. Okay, thank you all of you. Bye. We'll meet again next video. Thank you.